Hi everybody, I'm back with another project. This is another charm that I did for a swap. This was a make 4 and send 3, so the theme for July was Americana, and this is my charm, and the name of the charm is Americana. So I had purchased some little items that like little flags and some little flip-flops that kind of had a flag pattern, but they didn't really go with the beads that I chose because once again this turned out to be chunky, and these were beads that I splurged on because I bought them at the local bead store. I don't know what happened. I should have just passed by, and before I knew it I was pulling into their parking lot and going in just to see what they had, and I came out with these beads. But I fell in love with the deep red and the kind of pearly white of these beads, and then this sparkle. Because when I started out, I was kind of thinking of the 4th of July and a little bit of a celebration. But as I worked on the bead, I started thinking about the city that I live in, which is Fredericksburg, Virginia. And it's considered one of the most historic cities in the United States. It's right in between Washington, D.C. and Richmond, Virginia. It's just south of Washington, D.C. And when I first moved here, it was probably about 8 years ago or so, and I didn't really know anything about Fredericksburg, and there's some really kind of neat historic things. George Washington's boyhood home, it's called Ferry Farms, is here, and there are all kinds of things, but the thing that really, I think, made the deepest impression on me was that Fredericksburg is known for its battlefields. It is full of battlefields because of where it was during the Civil War. It was halfway between Washington, D.C., which was the capital for the North, and Richmond, Virginia, which became the Confederate capital. So being right in between, it was just, there are battlefields all over Fredericksburg. And in fact, you could not build anything anywhere without, you have to have some kind of a special search of the grounds before you build. And Fredericksburg is pretty built up now, though there are a lot of battlefield grounds and areas that they saved. But what's sad is that, you know, it used to be that people with metal detectors would go into areas before it was being developed, and they would just find bullets. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of bullets in a very small area, and that's all pretty much been dug up now because they're valuable relics from the Civil War. But unfortunately, they're there because these battlefields, this is where both the North and the South left their dying, their wounded, and their dead after the battles. So anyway, it's pretty sad kind of a thing and a somber thing to think about, that although certainly the emancipation of slaves was a good thing, that's, you know, there are different takes on exactly why the war started, even though that became the end. And I always think of those young men and wonder how many of them had any idea what they were fighting for. So this is my charm, and the way that I ended up presenting it, really kind of reflected where my thoughts had gone in respect to the battlefields in Fredericksburg, because I chose a paper that it's a patriotic paper. I think it's from a collection that Bo Bunny had last year. That there were a lot of blues and reds, but there was also these browns, which had stars and stripes and various patterns on them, and made me think of the dirt and the battlefields in Fredericksburg. So that ended up being my presentation for the charm. And then on the back of the charm, and I do have something to put into to this, but I put the information about the swap on a little distressed tag, and it says Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is where this tag comes from, and then I also have my information here in this little pocket on the back. So anyway, kind of depressing, but I think it's an important thing to think about, and that's just how disputes are solved and these things happen. And that was a war that actually over 1 million people died, but it was 620,000 soldiers, so that's a lot. Sorry, here, I just knocked over my little tripod here. So these are the other two. And you can see that there is a pattern of the stars and everything on this particular paper. Either stars or stripes. So those are the what I prepared for the swap. And then I wanted to do a little hostess gift for Leonie Castro, who hosted the swap on Life on the Scrap Beach. She has been hosting this swap every month for quite a while. I think I've been participating in it for maybe 5 months now, I guess. I just looked over to see how many charms I had hanging on my display of charms that I made. So, and I have those, and then I have another one that I made for Bo Bunny timepiece swap. So, this is for Leonie. It's a good luck charm. So, Leonie, I hope you like it. It's got, you know, some of the regular things that you would have. Here's a Tim Holtz token that says Believe. And the initial L for Leonie. This is another, I forget what these are called, and I need to purchase some more because I'm running out of them. They're like little coin tokens, and this one says Courageous, and then a little trinket pin, and I think that it says, it's almost like hard for me to read, but I think it says Thoughts maybe, and then another Tim Holtz sword stick that says Hope, and of course a heart, and then this little butterfly I've been hoarding. This is by a company called Vintage. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's spelled V-I-N-T-A-G, and I'm sure you've seen their products. You know, they're at a lot of stores, and they're also online. As I found out after I made this, I realized how much I liked this little butterfly. Because I've got a few butterflies made out of, it's a natural brass, but it looks copper, as this whole thing is copper, and it's bendable, so I was able to bend the wings up. And I guess what happened was I put it somewhere, and I kind of forgot that I had them, and I only have a few of them, and then I used it on this charm, and looked at it, and I thought I really like that, so I started looking them up online. And I was also looking up to see what was going on at CHA, and I saw that they have a Sizzix Big Shot that they have coming out that has the whole vintage design on it and everything. It's always sort of I always think of it as kind of oriental looking. But I didn't realize that all these flat pieces, they have a variety of tools that you can imprint. And I don't know, it looked like what you would do is that you might put this on a flat surface and then, you know, use this print with a hammer or a punch of some kind. But anyway, they've now made it so that you can put these into a Sizzix, and they're selling little folders that will imprint. They're not plastic, they're something else, because they will imprint a pattern on this metal. But I happen to like this flat. I just liked that look, especially contrasting with some of the other things. in this particular charm. So anyway, Leonie, I hope you like this. It made me look up some more of these vintage products, and it's something I think I want to experiment with more on my charms. This is also, my charms end up so big and chunky, and I'm working on making smaller charms, so this was another effort along that line too, besides being a hostess gift for Leonie. I always, and it does say good luck charm on there, I always, you know, after I make whatever I'm making, then I'm, okay, so now what do I do for the hostess? Because it is a lot of work to keep all of these things organized, to get them in, and then send them out to everybody. You know, that takes time, so wanted to make sure I sent something to her. And then on the back here, I have my YouTube channel and my blog. Also, I wanted to mention that I have 92 subscribers, so I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, and I'm going to come back in the next week or so with a giveaway for my subscribers, so maybe you can be looking for that. So I'll have a separate, and I think that what I'm going to give away for this first time is going to be a charm, a one of a kind. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking of for now. But I ended up really loving this little charm for Leonie, and it's different. It has hardly any beads to it. It's mostly charms of some type, but it's kind of small, and I think something you could easily put on a mini or even attach to your keychain or something. But whatever you do with it, Leonie, I hope you like it. And so those are my charms for July, which is the Americana, and that is the theme of my charm, Americana. Thanks for watching.